So we know it's annoying. Focused on the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because if you worry about what's following, then you mess up the emotion. So just focus upon the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because when you worry about what's following, then you mess up the emotion and it doesn't follow. So just focus on the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because if you focus on what's following, if you get this, you get this. So often, for years, we've said, as we begin here, are you enjoying the freshness of that new desire? Do you remember when your desires felt fresh? Do you remember that feeling of getting an idea and just the idea of it just made you feel good for a moment? Well, that's the feeling we want you to hold, because as you maintain that, then everything fills in around it. But when that feeling of freshness is muted by your logic, by your awareness, by your comparison, by your taking score, by your measuring yourself with everybody else, by your measuring yourself with your own past experience, when you're measuring the filling in part, we really jumped right into this, didn't we? We've got you right out here on the leading edge. In other words, we are right out on the leading edge of creation with you, and here you are right here with us. Nice to meet you here. Do you believe that the emotion that you feel, that the emotion is more general or more specific than the filled in version? In other words, do you believe that the emotion that you feel when you think about the security of a new car or the fun of a new car, do you think that that emotion is more general or more specific than the leather seats, the torque of the engine, the fact that you no longer need a key, the incredible color that has been created that almost defies anybody's ability to translate color in cars? Have you seen the color of that car? Do you think that the emotion is more general or more specific? It is. It's general. And do you think that it's possible for you to find a general feeling? Do you think it's possible for you to find a general feeling of something without the specifics? This is the key. This is the missing piece that you've been looking for. Because if you can figure out how to induce within yourself, by the sheer focus of your mind, upon the emotional properties of these things that you want, of these relationships that you want, of these recoveries that you want, of anything that you want, if you can isolate within yourself the emotional simplicity, then you will manage to put yourself in vibrational sync with your desire. And when you put yourself in vibrational alignment with your desire, the rest of it just follows. It's law. Because when you really feel playful, it just sounds like the best idea in the world. When you're really feeling playful, ideas about how to be playful just come and come and come and come and come. The question that we really want to get to the bottom of here is, do you feel it's appropriate to be playful? Because this is really the defining question. If you can accept that playfulness, that lightheartedness, that emotional manifestation that we were guiding you toward is what this is all about, then you've got it. Then you have found the missing piece. And once you show yourself that you can be consistently playful, and it's not easy. We know you've been dealing with a lot of stuff. We know that we're making lighter of a situation than you really want to make light of. But we promise you that if you can discover, and you can, on a regular basis, this playful spirit that is really within you. And you see, when you're lying in your bed at night, a few nights from now, maybe even tonight, you're going to be lying there and you're going to realize how good you feel for no apparent reason. You're just going to be feeling lighthearted. And once you turn that corner, once you really feel that way, what happens is you will begin rendezvousing with everything, anything and everything in your life, especially with the things that matter most to you, on the basis that you have established, because it's like that thing that we were talking about earlier. And once you find this playful vibration, once you find this secure place, once you find this thing that you asked for the moment you sat down, once you find the alignment that gives you the power to assist someone that you really care about in finding their alignment, once you find that, this sense of well-being and security will just waft over you. And this is the thing that's most interesting about it. You're not going to need the evidence right away once you find that, but the evidence will come anyway. We just don't want you to get immediately then dependent again on the evidence. So the contrast causes you to ask, and somehow, some way, maybe it's by listening to us, maybe it's just because you want to feel good so much, you come into alignment with who you are. And as you come into alignment with who you are, then things start turning around right away. And almost immediately, you start looking at the evidence and becoming dependent on the evidence again already. But the evidence isn't strong enough. The evidence won't support you because you haven't been in alignment long enough to really get the evidence going, you see. So this is the reason that all day here today we've been trying to convince you that the manifestation that you're reaching for is the emotional manifestation over which you have complete control. And if you will believe that and go after it for a week, and then for another week, and then for another week, by the time you've done this for about 30 days, you will have established such a pattern of vibrational alignment with who you are that then the manifestations have to follow. They have to follow, but you can't keep flip-flopping. You have to find that manifestation of emotion, and maintain it long enough that the evidence will support it. But friends, we're not giving this to you because we want the evidence to come to you to support it. While we do want the evidence to come to you to support it, because we want you to have and be and all of those things that you're wanting. We want you to find the security of that alignment. We want you to find your playfulness, your friskiness, your youthfulness, your joy, your stability, your vitality, your health. We want you to find all of that. It is just a small, very small emotional journey away. You can do it. We think we have convinced you. We have given it everything that we have to help you to understand that that's what it is all about. You've heard us say things like vortex first, then manifestations follow. And now we are amending those statements to say manifestation of emotion inside the vortex first, which is a general manifestation, which is what you really want, to feel good, to feel empowered, to know your worthiness. And then all of the other details that support that will come in, like having plenty of money and lots of friends and all of the things that you're wanting, and being able to move around and rendezvous with the people that are looking for the same things that you're looking for. This is a very diverse world, and most people are not exactly on your wavelength. And you don't want to play with those that are not exactly on your wavelength. But before you start playing with anybody, you want to establish what your wavelength is. And the wavelength that you're wanting to establish is the wavelength of source energy within you, you see. We know we ask you to focus beyond what is normal in your humandom. But when you do focus beyond what is normal, when you get your eyes on the big picture, and you accept that you are source energy here, reveling in this powerful moment. Now, how can you be eternally focused and focused here in this powerful moment? Abraham, make up your mind. I'm either eternal or I'm in this body. And we say, when you get it that you are both, when you get it that there is a blending that is taking place, and that in this powerful now, you have the ability to focus the wholeness of who you are into this moment, so that when you're having a conversation with someone, in your complete alignment with the wholeness of who you are then evoking the best from them. In your complete alignment with who you are, you're feeling the best in this moment. Your body is thriving the most in this moment. In other words, you didn't come here to be partially alive. You came here as life to express itself in this moment and in this moment and in this moment, to revel in the beauty of your planet and the beauty of the others with whom you share it. You came to revel in life, not to fix broken things, because as we have just been saying to you, Source does not acknowledge anything as broken, just as always expanding. So we say in simple terms, you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. And the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So if in this moment it feels sort of wrong, it isn't wrong, it's just not done. And in what feels like wrongness to you, there's a new rightness that's being born. And that rightness is the new expansion that is being born. So as you accept that you are always eternally expanding, then it sort of takes the sting out of standing in a place where the contrast is showing you something that you don't want. And what we want to convince you of today, we are determined to do it. We will give you everything that we and Esther has in order to help you understand that if you can accept that in this moment, right here and now, whatever the moment is, wherever you are, on the elevator, in traffic, making love, moving through your life, in whatever way that you are, in every moment in time, there is this juncture where you meet you. And to the degree that you understand that and want to let the fullness of you be there in that moment, then your new decision, your newfound decision that you will leave here with today will be this: I am source energy in a physical body. And the emotion that I strive for is my manifestation of the juncture of that source and me. You have the ability to be fully focused in any moment. You can be fully alive or you can pinch yourself off. And to the degree that you focus upon good feeling things, you train yourself into that full aliveness. And then a wonderful thing happens. A wonderful acknowledgement occurs to you. And that acknowledgement is, you no longer have to demand of others that they behave or perform in specific ways in order to make your life better. You give up the impossibility of trying to control the uncontrollable, and you begin at once to control the only thing that really is controllable and the only thing that matters, and that is your own personal, in this moment, manifestation of an emotion that feels good to you. You can do that, and you can do it now. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt, however, and say you can do it, and you can do it within 10 minutes. You can bring yourself into alignment within 10 minutes every time. And when you show yourself that, then you're finally free. You're free of everything that ever bound you. Everything that has ever felt binding to you has always and only ever been that one thing. That one thing where you have chosen something in your now to use as your excuse to pinch yourself off from the fullness of who you are. When you choose those things and you say, you are the reason that I can't feel good, then you are bound. When you say, oh, there is no reason for me to have pinched myself off because I now have full knowledge that I can within 10 minutes bring myself into alignment with who I am, then you are finally free. And then you'll be friskily moving through this life experience in good feeling moment after good feeling moment. And people who are watching you will say, what drug are you on and where did you get it? And you'll say, I'm on a natural drug. I've discovered that my physical body is a veritable chemical factory. And that when I get into an emotional place where I feel good, everything in my body works toward releasing everything that is good feeling. And they will say, well, it's obvious to me that you are on something. What is it? And you'll say, it's a very long story. But I can give you a quick version. I just decided to be happy. And they'll say, you are on something, you just won't admit it. You just won't admit it. Friends, what we really want to say to you is, it's easier than you've been making it out to be. But you don't try very hard until you feel desperate. But when you're desperate, then it's a little bit harder because then you've got all that manifestation that you have to overcome. But it really is an easy thing. These things we know about you. You are source energy in physical bodies, here intending not just occasionally, not just at the basketball game, not just at the football game in the moment of the touchdown of the team that you've bet your money on, not just at those peak moments. You have intended to experience bliss and joy and satisfaction and peacefulness and contentment and invigoration and passion, or some version of all of those things in every moment of every day. You are powerful, genius, brilliant creators, and the source within you is reveling on that wavelength and having those feelings all day, every day. And when you feel less than that, it's only because you're focused in a lesser vibration than you are worthy of, a lesser vibration than you deserve. Life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. When you meet people, you're supposed to like them. When you listen to people, you're supposed to find interesting things. In every moment, there is the potential of a succulent, delicious thing occurring in every moment. And if you're not having lots and lots and lots of those moments, it's because you're vibrationally out of whack. And you can do something about it, you see. It's so worth doing something about it. Don't ask anybody to change. Don't ask anything to be different. Don't ask one thing to be different. Just accept, I have the power to feel good anyway. I have the power to feel good, even though my government has lost its mind. I have the power to feel good, even though the weather is not my favorite. I have the power to feel good, even though I have the power to feel good because I choose to, and because the source within me already is there and is rooting for me, is beaming a signal to me. And anything less than that is only because I'm not making the effort to focus myself into the feeling, which is the easiest thing in the world to do. We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. And in fact, we have conveyed